Yo, what is up, fam? How we doing? It's Friday. It's pizza day. But most importantly, GM Mac. You know, most importantly, it is Friday, man. I hope you guys had an eventful, very positive week, right? You did a lot, you accomplished a lot, and we get into Friday. You earned that weekend, baby. You earned that pizza tonight. Maybe you earned yourself a couple beers for the weekend. Whatever you do, whatever your vices are, congratulations. You made it to the weekend almost. We got one more day to get through. GM Turbo.
Yo. Ooh. Friday the 13th, bro. In October.
I know.
I love when people say that too. Like, I've heard that so many times, and like, it's Friday the 13th in October. What do you think, man?
You know what? I chickened out. Not that I, did it on purpose, but I chickened out because I had my skeleton hoodie. Actually, my wife pulled out all of the Halloween stuff the other day. And so I had my skeleton bone hoodie. I was going to wear it today to, spooky fun. But I'm going to wear it on Halloween. Because on Halloween, we're going to actually have I think we'll do definitely a spooky theme. I started building the content for the content schedule for the rest of the month. And the show on Halloween is going to be scary crypto stories. So I certainly have a few that, scared me at the time. So get your stories ready for Halloween.
I love that. And, Jay, does that mean I get to wear a mask on camera or no? Do I get to dress up?
Yeah. Everybody should wear. I mean, you know what we should do? We can have, and what we'll do is I think I can have up to 10 people on the StreamYard. And so we'll put out a sign up for anybody in the Web3 breakfast community. You want to wear a costume and you want to be on stream on Halloween, you are more than welcome to. And I love this idea. So we should all be costumed up for sure for the show.
Costume contest.
Costume contest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll be able to give some stuff away. Let's try to find some sponsors for this too, because then we can we'll figure out a way to make this all happen.
Yeah. I was bringing that up too. I wanted to take us from a very happy, positive moment to a very snarred, kind of like passive aggressive moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, passive aggressive moment here. Because when we were talking, I was like, I can't wait, man. I'm gonna have all these like masks. I'm gonna have like big heads and stuff. Like we do our stream and we're all big, and you're like, Turbo, we will never wear masks. Not on my channel.
Not on my channel.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
but for Halloween, we're a go, baby.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and even on
I'm turning up.
Christmas, man, when we do the Christmas spectacular, like I assume we'll be in Santa suits,
Did you I did try to get you on the nice list with Santa Decides. I have no idea who that is. It seems super scammy. 370,000 followers. I'm on the nice list, so I'm like, look, I'm gonna get all my people, on this nice list. We might get scammed. Do not click any links from it. Doug, I also put you in for the nice list. I said, can we get Dougie a new fur coat? So he has one to wear when he's getting his other one clean.
Thanks. Yeah, that's actually important because you got to put them on rotation. And the important thing though is Turbo, they have to have pockets so I can put like small dogs or like my flask or like, my weed in there.
No. Listen, if I know anything about you when you're going around places, Dougie, and why you need pockets, it's because you need to be able to put your microphones. You need to be able to put your key light. Like you travel with your recording stuff with you all the time, and I respect the shit out of you for that. I'm trying to like start to build that into my travel schedule so that you always got to have the mics and the lights with you, man, because you never know when the moment comes where you got to capture some shit. So I think that's why you got pockets, those big ass pockets in that coat, Dougie.
Well, the thing is that like people are not expecting that. When they see my coat, they don't expect there to be like microphones and lights popping out of it. They get like surprised, which is like 90% of the reason I do it, because they're just like, what? And I'm like, yeah, this is how we work in film production. This is like a utility fucking coat. And because normally, you know, you see the dudes that have vests and all the pockets and stuff that work in production, but it's a fur coat, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, you think like you know, you wouldn't think that, you know, when you go to like you said, a production, you go to a concert, you go, you know, a filming session or whatever, and yeah, and you got the guys walking around, they got the pockets, they got the grip tape, the gaff tape, the yada yada yadas everywhere. You wouldn't expect that Dougie's got an entire recording studio lined in the pockets of that fur coat. But I tell you what, man, you are doing it, and you know what? That really brings us. I don't want to say me. It brings us. Obviously, you know, we're gonna have a little fun here. It is Friday the 13th. But what I want to talk about today, and Turbo and Seven and I were chatting about this morning, was value, perceived value versus actual value here in Web3. Like, what the fuck? You know, like here's an example. You know, we've got some of our and they're friends of ours too. So, but you know, we have to like sometimes maybe pop the balloon and, you know, say like, listen, this is ridiculous. You know, people charging like $100 for a fucking song in Web3. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, no one. That's insane. You know. So it's like, what is this perceived value to where like, and you know, we're going to get into this in a little bit, but I want you guys to be thinking about, you know, in this Web3 ecosystem, like, where is the value coming from? How do we build it? How do we actually like have a sense of, what am I looking for here, Turbo?
Scalability.
I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm fired up about this topic, you know, because, you know, having a construction company, right? Like I go into these people's like houses and stuff and they're like, hey, we want this thing. And I give them a quote and I'm like, look, you do understand that like, there's not like, it's not a made up thing. Like there's literally data and there's books like RS Means that says like what the value should be, like how much it costs. This is what it should cost to do this. You know what I mean? And if you want this level of quality or you want this level of quality, and it's all in this book, right? And people would just give me a hard time, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, do you want it done right or do you want it done? And so I'm fired up about this, you know what I'm saying? Because I do think, you know what I mean? Like, I think that there's possibilities for people if you're doing something very personal and very like collectible, you know, that you could give it a little more value. But we'll get into it, man. So I think there's some things, but I think you're definitely on the, you know, on the point that we got to talk about it. Because it's been grinding our gears.
Yeah, tell me about it, baby. Talk to me. Yeah, before we do that, let's just get into a couple things, just, you know, to see what's going on in the world of our ecosystem, right? We got, you know, as far as prices go in the last 24 hours, seems to be stable. With the last 7 days, though, everything's down a couple percent. This is something we haven't looked at in a couple days. I think it was before the LA trip was the last time we looked at the NFTgo.io sentiment. We're at a 13. Blue chip index definitely slowly going down as well over the last 7 days. Market cap and volume. I mean, obviously, you know, in the NFT scene, you know, like people say NFTs are dead. They're not dead. I saw somebody say, what do you guys think about this? Yesterday I saw a post. Someone said NFTs are not dead. They're just sleeping. You think they're sleeping?
Well,
nap time.
Well, there's a big sentiment right now, J Chains, that NFT Web3 gaming is on the upswing because a lot of the Web3 influencers, or I should say content creators, are you know, they get very sensitive when you say the I word. You know, I'll say content creators. Okay, the content creators are getting more and more meetings with games, and games are, the amount of like capital going into games is on the rise right now. So there is a little bit of a feel of like a very tiny bull run happening in Web3 gaming, maybe-ish happening right now. So that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah, I agree, and you know, we talk about this a lot, you know, like with the gamers kind of bringing the big focus on there. But what do you think? What do you think about this ETF business now? Do we think that this Bitcoin ETF is going to pass like sooner than we were a little bit kind of expecting? Because we kept seeing, you know, push. But now I think the latest that we're hearing is that like these things might actually start going through pretty soon. I don't know. That could be. Now that would be, you have to,
It could be today.
Listen, you have to understand, like, I'm all on board for gaming, music, all these things to be the, like what we talk about, the big catalyst, the catalyst for mass adoption, right? But I'll tell you what, knowing how this ecosystem works and knowing kind of the two different sides, right? The coin side, the Web3 side, I can unequivocally tell you that if a Bitcoin ETF passes, the coin bros are going to win this. Like, that is going to bring on the mass adoption from a different level, right? Like from a major financial level. And I'm sorry to all the Web3 game developers that screwed the pooch on this and took too long to make something that people actually wanted to play. But that's where we are. I mean, I even got a bone to pick with Yuga right now. Like, what's going on with Yuga? Like, who are they now? Like, it was the Bored Apes, and now like everything is like gaming, but it seems to like not make sense. And I don't think people are really digging the offerings even coming from Yuga. So like, what are we going to do? And I talked about this the other day. I think it was on Crypto Crossfire. Like, if we're just going to allow the Sonys and the Microsofts to come into the ecosystem and handle it for us, what I feel like Nessie, what are we doing?
But that's the thing though, Jay Chains, is like, if you want mass adoption by people around the world, it's kind of part of it, right? The Microsofts, the Sonys, whatever, like, it's like when they start integrating NFTs into things and people don't even know they're using them in these huge giant corporations and conglomerates, it's just going to be there. But the thing is, right now we're seeing it a little bit with Web3 gaming, where like a lot of the big studios like Epic Studios and stuff are trying to think about doing it or whatever, and everybody in Web3 gaming is like kind of nervous because they're just like, our market's already small. Like, imagine if some like big games like Fortnite come in and just swoop up everything. But the spot ETF things, as soon as they started to make those announcements in the news, I was at the airport in Denver at DIA and seeing like them advertise for that stuff, like immediately, like that same day that it was broke in the news. And so I don't think I saw it when I was at the airport a couple days ago on the billboards, but like, they're obviously trying to push it really hard. Like, they obviously see it as something, a way for them to make a good amount of money and also like capitalize on the fact that crypto's in the news. So I think it's like a thing where they want it really badly. They want their piece of the crypto pie, and now they see a way in to make money off of it. All these Black Rocks and all these like huge conglomerates are seeing ways to make money off of it, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it's definitely going to get people closer to mass adoption for crypto.
I mean, we need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all part of it. What we got? I appreciate you, Dougie. We got a couple hands I want to get through too. Go ahead, Turbo. What are you gonna say, Turbo?
Yeah, real quick. I'm gonna let Tony know, man. I invited Tony for this value conversation because I know he's gonna be fired up about this. So I just wanted to kind of give him a heads up, let him know we're gonna be talking about how people come up with their value. What is the value in this space, man? So thank you for joining us, and thank you to everybody. If you want to be a part of this conversation, guys, hit the request button. Let's hit these last couple hands because that's about to be the end of the chop shop.
Let me get some sound effects made. Make some knives swinging through the air.
Yo, Beamer boy, what's up, family?
What's up, baby? How y'all doing, man? Jay Change, Turbo 74. What's good, man? Blessings this morning. My brother Doug, man. Hey, man. So yeah, this is a great conversation. First off, the quality of your work, what you choose to put it in as far as the worth. Being a brand, creating a brand. There's a lot of things that come with these things, and I'm seeing this on the music side of NFTs and music production. And the fact of the matter is, unless you're doing like a 20-minute like film, with some music behind it, and it's like really artistic and it's got some real vibe to it, and it's just like a trip into like a specific region or world of frequency and vibration. It's like, then okay, I can see you placing a larger number on it because now you've intertwined real contemporary art. Yes. You've intertwined a vibe. You've intertwined of something that a world of people, a world of individuals, a world of consumers can like fall into and fall in love with. So I can see you putting a big number on something like that, and especially if you do a collaboration and you bring other amazing musicians and artists, and you're actually playing physical music.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, and that's just my opinion, this is from me being a musician and a singer and all these other different things and an artist. I'm a digital artist, the whole works, dude. So I'm coming from an area where everybody is looking at this thing. And so I definitely see that there can be a higher level of worth. But as far as getting out here on the NFT space and in the crypto space and dropping a single track, and trying to get $30, $40, $50 for a single track. Come on, man, get real. I've been in the music industry for freaking like more than 30 years of my life. I was born and raised into this stuff, man. And seriously, the people that are at the top would tell you the same thing. They're like, well, first of all, we've been doing singles on the high level of the industry, and we're not selling them for $30 a single.
Oh.
You know, they're selling those for $6.99.
But that's
I'd like to speak, guys.
Or
If you guys don't mind.
hang on one
Guys,
second.
I'm sorry.
Hang on a second, Zima. Just
Oh, sure.
yeah. I mean, like, definitely, like,
yeah.
there's conversation.
So you know, we have you know, they're selling them for, you know, $9.99, $10 a freaking track. You know what I mean? So, and this is coming from an actual physical standpoint. I mean, I did archiving with my boy for many, many years, dude. We were some major archivers with IRC Network. And I know a lot of people who are into archiving and know what music is really about. You get it. So at the end of the day, I just don't see that. Now, as far as where we're going, our NFTs asleep. I can see that. I can say that yeah, they're dormant right now, and it's not so much as that they're going away. Hell no, because we're in a forward progress. What we've done and what the whole entire platform has done is change the world. Period. No one can do anything to take that backwards at this point. Manifestation and us transcending to the next level in this world that we live in now. This is where we're at, dude. This is what we're doing, and this is where it's going. And there's nobody that's going to be able to stop it. And that's what it is. And that's my take on it.
Absolutely.
So, man, I'm going to pass it back to you guys. Blessings, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the you know, your opinion and kind of thoughts into this whole thing. And I'm right there with you, man. Like the whole idea that you're not charging 99 cents for a 2-minute track is absolutely ludicrous. Not you, but you know, musicians, is absolutely ludicrous. Issues had his hand, and then let's pop it over to Zima.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just going to get back into the metaverse topic, right? And how you got, you know, I was thinking about buying a mutant ape here recently, and I'm just like, man, what's going on with the game? You know what I'm saying? They got this game, and it's like you were saying, Jay Chains, it's like the development ain't there, and then you got GTA 6 coming out that's going to be integrating cryptocurrencies into the game, right? So now GTA 6, which, you know, Rockstar Games, that ain't nothing to play around. Now they're going to be front running you, and they're going to come out with something that already has mass adoption and is going to overtake the whole market. It's just like cornucopias on fucking Cardano, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've had multiple mints, like 10 mints, right? And still just got the same exact fucking game that they had last year at CNFTCon. It's the same racing game that everybody played last year. Like, what the fuck's going on?
No, I'm with you, and I definitely want to reach out. We're supposed to have I definitely get Josh on, and hopefully Rob can join too. But that's the thing, you know, like, and we talk about the value and all this stuff. And, you know, people have put in a lot of money, and like you're right, man. Like they just kept coming with the mints and mint this. But we'll do something with all that money that you got from those mints, so that, you know, people can have an offering. Again, I will say it. Like, there is no, in my opinion, and again, I'm not the biggest gamer in the world. I'm actually not even a gamer, but I understand this ecosystem. I understand like what people are attracted to, and, you know, have plenty of conversations with, you know, people that are on the other side of this. That if a studio would just make something that people would want to play. I mean, Yuga, like their first Dookie Dash, like, give me a fucking break. Like, how is that? I mean, that should be an embarrassment to anybody there. Like, and I know everybody was just like, that was what? Their peak? It was their peak. Because now this MV, whatever this, I mean, I am not even interested in anything that they're doing. It was the other side, and then all of a sudden they started coming up with these stupid ass games, and it's just not interesting to, you know, to me. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. Let's go. I know Zima had his hand up, and then Matthew, and then Dougie.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, good afternoon. Fuck. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, you know,
GM.
It's a state of mind, not a state of time.
Okay, guys. So listen. So I'm gonna let me address your topic, and then I'm going to address another topic. that you'll probably hate me for. So guys, so you want to talk about value. Let's bring it back to basics. All value is based on human beings, period. Any type of exchange that ever mattered would be something that you give to something that somebody else needs. They have a saying, if you want to make a fortune, help as many people as possible. All right? This is an actual statement they have in terms of business books and literal ways to actually think about creating something of value. Guys, you want to talk about mass adoption, international freaking acceptance of things? I'm going to tell you who I am. My name is Vaughn Santos. If you look me up, I was instrumental in the United Nations actual win against the China arbitration law on the seas. I have the first victory in the United Nations in terms of a land dispute. It's the very first one under UNCLOS. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because I am a person that has not felt helpless when it comes down to things that are actually happening right now. This is a very serious time, so I'm going to say this in 24 hours. I do not care what position you're in on the side of Israel and Gaza, okay, and the whole Palestinian thing, okay? But the Gaza Strip is about to be sieged. What does this mean on a human rights level, guys? In 24 hours, they have been instructed to move below the river, or else they will die. The United Nations has already weighed in and said this is impossible. This is an impossible task. The reason why things like this are happening, guys, is because no one is doing shit and no one can do shit. No one feels like they can do shit. And as far as I'm concerned, and guys, I'm shaking as I say this, okay? Because I'm really shaken by what's going on. I had a hope that Web3 had the ability to actually be a potential change and a route. But I spent a lot of time here. Blockchain literally is the only place, I'm going to tell you right now, that can actually salvage a bunch of shit that's going wrong in this world. There's a lot of things that are centralizing. There's powers that are consolidating. They are not in our interest. And we are living in a decentralized world. And guys, we are focused on our bag so much, we're forgetting the real value of things. There are priorities that should be done. I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys want to talk about movements, my movement was so fucking big, it became a government agency. Obama thanked me personally, okay? The reality is, if you want to actually make some real change in this planet, you move, and you don't talk about, you prioritize a historic moment right now. Literally, one of the largest human crimes is about to happen. Right, like literally, take your clock, set it down to a countdown, and let's see just what's going to happen right now in 24 hours. This is a scary, scary time. And I'm only saying this because I would like to see some form of action within this community. Because as far as I'm concerned, if we are faced with a scenario, we are staring at the television or YouTube and watching literally like hundreds of thousands that are about to get slaughtered, children, innocents, and they keep blaming the fact, oh well, Hamas is using kids as shields, blah, 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 okay? People got to go home, you know? Hey, listen, fuck your thumbs down, okay? Fuck your thumbs down.
Zima.
No, that's not negative.
That's not negative, Zima, that's not negative. Calm your nerves.
Yeah,
Zima,
dude. Yeah,
you
listen.
don't know me like that, bro.
Okay.
Don't come at really quick.
People. It's blessings.
I want everybody to mute their fucking mics for a second. Or Zima.
Okay, fine.
Zima, you will come in here, and you came in hot and bothered, and I get it, but you will show respect to every single member of this community. Do you understand that? And that's not like, I will not waver on this, and that goes for everybody. But I'm speaking to you right now, Zima.
Everyone, my friend.
Good.
I give respect to everyone.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. I always give respect. As far as I'm concerned, and listen, I'm approaching this because I have a lot of love in my heart, and I literally don't want us to be shallow. I don't want us to be children. We are adults in this space. We have a leadership responsibility, and as far as I'm concerned, there are use cases. I've been talking about transforming medicine because I swear to you, I have a nanomolecular cure for these vaccines, and people are going to get hurt. I swear to you that if I watch us just be silent and laugh all day long and literally not consider the seriousness that we're literally going to watch like so many people die today. Oh, I'm sorry, 24 hours and see who's left. And the people that cannot move and the sick, the starving, the ones that are already in the hospitals. I mean, come on, guys. Could you imagine how ethically wrong this is? This is a crime in front of us. And I am sorry, but every time everybody mentions the word Israel, it's already attached to being anti-Semitic. No, this is not anything about that. This is literally them getting away with real estate acquisition, and in the way are a bunch of people that they don't like. And so, and just so you know, I love both sides. Okay, there's no scenario here where it's like, oh, I'm pro this, I'm pro that. No, I am literally wanting everyone here just to be serious and pay attention for today. This is a very, very critical time. It's scary as F that we can literally just watch our television, flick it on tomorrow. Okay, well, they died.
But do you want to dwell in this for all day long and live in it? I mean,
Sorry.
no, I don't want to live in this and dwell in this.
I'm sorry. This is one.
No.
Everybody knows what's going on,
Yeah.
bro. Everybody knows what's going on in the world. We can have a news. We don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I know what's going on.
No shit. You know what? And sorry, Zima. Like, listen, I removed you as a speaker. You're more than welcome to sit here and listen. But listen, that's not the fucking point of any of this. And you know, we're a very positive group here, and you know, we try to spread a different message and in a different gospel here about Web3. And there is no time for any of that. And if that is something that we wanted to talk about, it would have been on the fucking title. We would have been talking about it. But here's the deal. That's not what we're talking about, because you want to go to Mario's channel, you want to go somewhere else and talk about that shit, go for it. I don't want to do that here. We don't talk about politics. There's nothing that I can do, and just sitting here talking about what's going on in another part of the world ain't going to do shit. Right? We can only do what we can do. We can only rise who we are as a community. I can only take care of the people that are directly related to me in my daily function. And that's all that I can do. And we can all only do that. And like, whatever your position on this, I don't care, because that's not what we're talking about. Zima, obviously we've got a long history. Let's have a conversation in the back channel, but I'd appreciate it if, you know, we don't come in locked and loaded ever again like that. I'm not a fan of that. That we were having a really fun Friday conversation, and I feel like that might have tail spun us out of control in a different way that we don't do here at Web3 Breakfast. And I apologize for being upset, guys, but like that's not how this show goes. And my apologies for getting upset to the community.
Let's do our work down and reset the room.
I love it.
I love that. Yo, thank you all for being here, guys. Hey, that's what it's all about, guys. Look, hey, this is the Web3 Breakfast. We do this every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. This is what it's about, right? Like, we all come together here. It is that time of the day where we are going to get into our workouts, because it's all about healthy minds, healthy bodies, and healthy portfolios. And listen, if nothing else, just stand up. Just get up out of your seat. You know, touch your toes, reach to the sky. You know what I mean? If you want to do some jazzercise, you're doing push-ups today. Okay, do you have the track loaded up, Jay?
Yes. We good to go. All right, this is that new one. If you guys know Nessie the Rilla, this is his new one that he's got with Snoop Dogg called Half Steppin'. They are I think it is public mint today at 1 p.m. Eastern, 1 or 3 p.m. Eastern, something like that. So make sure you tap in. Here's my boy Nessie.
Let's go.
Tighten those things.
Oh, shit. My bad.
All right. If you want to check out that whole song, make sure you go over to sound.xyz and check for Nessie the Rilla. That is called Half Stepping with Snoop Dogg. Check that out, baby. Shout out to you, Nessie. Working hard to make things happen in the music world. That was good. I feel like that was a good workout. Much needed.
Man, my arms are tight. Could you hear my thing clanging?
Oh my God, that's all I could hear.
Yes.
Was clang clang.
That's all we could hear.
Tighten. You got to tighten those things, man. Those are
sorry.
like you got to tighten those spinners.
Dang, I love that personally. It wasn't registering, so I didn't. And you're like, turn it off. I'm like, oh shit, you could hear it. I couldn't see it on my thing. I didn't think y'all could hear it. I'm sorry. Hey, but that's all right though. At least y'all know. Look, we about that business. Jay, I'm excited to get back down there and get you whipped into shape for this boxing match. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be a stud, an absolute stud. But we did have Matthew with his hand up beforehand, and I always love talking to Matthew.
GM fam. Hope everybody's doing well on this Friday. I'm super pumped about the weekend because I'm got my in-laws coming and it's going to be a good time. I do like hanging out with them. They love pizza, so hopefully we get some of that tonight.
Nice.
I want to address two things. One, the value question. As a former car salesman who is terrible at my job, I learned two very, very important things. The first is that the happiest customers pay the most, which you can always think about as like, because they pay the most, they don't spend a lot of time nickel and diming you for stuff and they're just ready to get on with their day. The second, and this people hate when I say this, but this has never been more true. A good value is a state of mind, right? So if you put value into your products, or if you put things into your products that people enjoy and that they like, that's really where you're going to get it. Like you need to make it their mental value that is part of that ecosystem, right? And as Warren Buffett said, price is what you pay, value is what you get. It's exactly the same kind of ecosystem. And I agree that there's a lot of these projects out there that aren't delivering on value, or they're not thinking about the right ways to bring it to folks. I think this thing on the the Yuga Labs app, the heavy metal game, people are really upset about the value, quote unquote, of the prize, right? Because they put a monetary value on it. Whereas the original Apes and Mutants game gave you like plushies and things that were super limited and experiences and stuff like that you couldn't actually get, which of course is going to have a higher value. So what they did is they put a monetary prize on it, which is boring, right? It's not very interesting. But when they gave you a Dookie Dash key and they told you it's the only one and they bid that thing up to $1 million, it's got a lot of value. Mm-hmm. So I think that those things are like really important for us to keep in mind. And the last thing I'll say on the Yuga aspect, I know, Jay, you're not a fan of the stuff that they've been doing. And I know that people think they've peaked, but this is the time where they're the only people, they're the only group that have put mini games into a build world and an environment that they're in. They're in the fuck around and find out space right now. Mm-hmm. They're getting so much data and information about how to make the other side vastly more powerful than Sandbox and Decentraland, because they can fail in these small games and figure out like, oh, people don't like to play this, or people don't like to vote, or people don't like X, Y, and Z. So all they're doing is using this as a small experimentation to figure out what people like and don't like, so that they can build real value into the other side, which is really what's going to be the exciting thing that we'll see, I think, even later this year.
Nice. Well, I mean, we'll see. I do agree with you, the fuck around and find out thing. And I did just so you know, Matthew, I did just have to, you got the post of the day. We haven't done this in a while, but we got to go back to the quote of the day. So you got quote of the day, good value equals state of mind. So I like that.
My wife hates when I bring that up.
It's all right. I like it. I think that there is a lot of value to be had in that statement. Who was next hand-wise? Bean?
Dougie.
What's up, Dougie?
Hey, just here's a public service announcement. Public speaking is possibly the most valuable and most rare skill in the history of the planet. In fact, it pretty much dictates what everybody does, like our politicians, the people you see on television, radio, Twitter, whatever. And it's all about sending like the message you want to send where people can actually receive it and really build with people, So J Chains and Turbo, you guys are fantastic at this. Like, it's like J Chains, when I hear you talking about stuff and what you care about, like I feel like it's like my spirit animal talking to me, like you show strength and grace and stuff. And it's so cool. I'm kind of obsessed with this public speaking thing because it's like such a, it's like people often say their number one fear, right? Or being on camera. And because people don't realize that like it doesn't really matter the words you say or what you're trying to convince people of. It's all about your intent. And like if you really have conviction in what you're doing, your words, your actions, and all of it align, and it's almost like irresistible. People want to be around it, right? They want to know what's going on. They want to be part of what you're doing. I mean, I used to work a lot with the state of Colorado and the governor here and all other and the previous governor and stuff. And when they spoke, it was just like powerful. People, it was just like it would move people, right? And so it's just really interesting for me because I really appreciate people that like not only like speak great and really care about that, and it just shows your like what your values are as a person, but also like when people like post on Twitter or do any kind of content that communicates stuff, like it's really such a cool thing. And we can talk all day about like our opinions and what we think is going to come next and all this stuff in Web3, and it's great. But below all that is us building bonds together and making those interoperable like relationships, those long-term relationships. And that's how you really get things done, right? Is like in life, because it's like that's when you can really have a base of like doing things with people and having good stuff happen. And that's part of the reason that Web3 is so exciting, because we have like shows like this and other things that we do that are all interconnected and people that we support. And like, like also, it also makes me sad if I'm not able to punch someone in the face and fight somebody in one of these fight team things. Because like, when do I get to fight J Chains? Is like this.
Oh
is
man,
like,
I'm even having a hard time thinking like if I'm really gonna be boxing Grady, because like he's my guy, dude. Like it's all right, we'll figure it out. Because I don't think
he's a big dude.
I know,
he's a large man.
Because I don't think Gabriel Haynes, he's been talking trash, but when it came down to it, when we asked if, hey man, you want to box J Chains? No, he's afraid, even though he's a spokesman for Karate Combat, which was really weird. So Karate Combat, if you're listening, I'll be your spokesman, and I'll even get in the ring, unlike some of your other spokesmen. Anyway, one thing I do want to correct you on, Dougie, and it's not like, not like a fact check or anything, but when you said like, we need to like make some more of these relationships interoperable, that was the theme of our conversation yesterday. And I think that we decided that what we should be using and the strategy that we should be employing into this is cross-pollination, right? Like interoperability, we're not ready for, but the cross-pollination, that we are, because that, if we're not actually building, if we're not developing, like a platform or a service, people like us, what we can do is facilitate the cross-pollination. And that's where I think, the messaging we need to make sure that we take home is that, it's time for us to we're the worker bees, all of us. If you're listening to this, if you know somebody that's in Web3, we are the worker bees. Like we have to spread the gospel of Web3 and let the builders, the platforms, the services, they're the ones that have to facilitate the interoperability. We're just going to do some cross-pollination at the moment.
Well,
if you notice in how I phrase it, I said interoperable relationships, which is like referring to personal relationships, not interoperability between projects, because there's another step beyond just like a relationship with somebody of just like knowing them and saying hi or whatever. It's about getting to know them, hugging them, learning about them, asking questions from them, like where it's like highly interactive, and you start building with that person and really understanding them. That's really the thing that people like miss. Jana, who's a great content creator from Brazil, who I'm like talking to about working with, and she's a fantastic, and she actually made a post today, I retweeted about that, where she actually makes a graph and a chart and all this stuff about it, and how she's become like a full-time Web3 person. That's how she makes all of her income. And it's like most people only go like 50%. And so that's part of the reason I like brought all that up, because the people that really want to integrate with other people and build those like real actual interlock relationships, I think is really what brings success.
My God,
it's the hive mentality. Like we've got to build the hive. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to play your position. And quit looking at other people's positions and trying to weigh their positions against your position. Just be the best at what you do. That's the value, right? Like I get so fired up when it comes to value thing. Even as a kid, man, like I always knew like there's no such thing as value. It was just simply what somebody else was willing to give you for it. And then if they saw more value and was willing to pay more than someone else did, well, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's none of my business. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be the person that's on the side of, being able to express a higher value, to be able to, to reap a bigger benefit, and that's where I'm at. But we do have, I know, let's see, we got Beamer Boy, you had your hand up, and we also got Zach Money with his hand up. Welcome in, Zach. And we got a kid called Love just coming to the stage, and my newest sister, my spiritual sister Diamond, in the stage here as well. So I'm looking forward to speaking with her. And Max is back as well. And look at our whole community just being here. Beautiful, man. Shouts out to all y'all. Y'all are the real ones, man.
Listen, I'm just here to defend my title on that I still have really good taste in food. I just may not like pizza. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
As long as you still
That's
like
all she comes
calzone,
for.
as long as you still can eat a calzone, I will accept you in the community. But if you ever stop liking
I
calzone,
appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, I'll never.
Just never
Wait,
like.
You don't like pizza at all?
No.
What is?
No.
Well, now, Zach, if you want to use your time with your hand for that, we'll pass it to you. But I got to find out what's up with Beer Boy. Because, I mean, if his hand literally falls off, bro, like, can you imagine? It's Friday the 13th, bro. Like, we can't risk shit around here. We got to get to the hands. Yeah, you know what I mean? And, next thing you know, we're in Twitter jail. I don't know. Beamer Boy, what's up, family? And then Zach,
that's right. Happy Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Y'all skipping me.
Yo.
In October.
Yo, what's up, Beamer?
I told y'all.
What up, though, man? So yeah, just to touch on the behavior, man. Like at the end of the day, you want to get your point across, and you want to be able to come into the community and put out that vibe, But at the end of the day, we have to remember, like Doug was saying, we have to be intentional. But we also not just have to be intentional. We have to remember our behavior, because humans have the tendency to act up. So at the end of the day, man, we got to remember, when we come into these spaces, you never know who you're coming in contact with. You never know who you're talking to. You never know if you might be talking to the person that could potentially change your life, or vice versa, destroy your life. So at the end of the day, we're in these spaces and we're here to build, we're here to create. And, we are here to try in some possible way create value in one another. If we're not out here to create value, then what are we doing? You come to the spaces every day and you're hosting and you're doing all these different things and stuff, but what is your future plan? What is your ulterior motive? And what is your final destination? At the end of the day, you have to already have your final destination planned out. Like, where are you going? What is the final plan for where you're going to land when you land that plane? And so that's where I'm at, man. And so, and for those of you that don't know, I've been out here vibing on a positive frequency for almost 2 years now. Blessings on blessings on blessings for those that have not received it. I'm going to say that again. Blessings on blessings on blessings for those that do not receive it. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is what I will always stand for. I've been around some of the biggest, hardest gangsters and superstars in the world, dude. And at the end of the day, they still got love, and they still carry blessings, and they still put out positivity.
That's it.
All right.
Man.
So much love to you guys. I really appreciate the space, and I'm going to keep vibing, because there are some absolute legends and scholars in this space, man. And I just want to say thank you to the hosts, you guys. Blessings, man.
My guy, Beamer, coming in from the top ropes. Appreciate the flowers, man. Appreciate you being here, guys. And this goes for everybody. Everybody is welcome here at Web3 Breakfast. I'm talking to Zima in DMs. Like, listen, everything's all good. We're all family. We're all friends. We're all going to get through this. And just don't lose sight of, what we try to accomplish here at Web3 Breakfast. And it is that force of positivity. That's all that we can do. That's the one thing that we can control, is our mindset, right? And we just keep it positive, and we just keep it moving forward. And so keep it moving forward. Let's go to our next hand. Was it Zach?
It was Zach, and if Zach would like to use his time to cross-examine the Maxine about her lack of pizza love, I would be fine with that, but I'm hoping it's a little bit more value. What's up, Zach, my guy, pumping them TikToks. Yo, guys, please, go give Zach a follow on TikTok, man. He's putting out his content, constantly working, man. Good shit for you, bro.
Hey, so yeah, I'll let you guys choose if I used my time or not already. That's up to the panel.
No, you didn't, bro, no.
Hey, so I kind of wanted to touch on a couple things. I keep thinking about your guys' conference in UCLA and how J-Chain said, hey, we need more women in the space. And there was a few people that came up to you and said, I'm here, what can I do? And talking about what Turbo just said, like, just bring yourself and your skills. Like, that's perfect. Like, whatever you can do, you already add value. You just don't realize it yet. So we need everybody to bring their own skills, because I think there was a couple people, you said they were in the law school. I mean, we need tons of people in with law skills and knowledge of, regulations and different things, because they can help shape what we're trying to build. So that's one thing that, if you're in the crowd and you're thinking, what skills do I bring? Like, think of what skills you have, and we definitely need you.
Absolutely.
And then what Doug was saying, public speaking, that kind of, I really like hearing that, because for me, I feel like it's way easier for me to get up in front of a group of 10,000 or 100,000 people and speak than speak on camera. For some reason, speaking on camera is so hard for me, but I can get up in front of a group and speak super easily. So I don't know what it is, but I do feel like that's a good skill. And that kind of goes along with the sales thing that Matthew was talking about, because when you're doing public speaking, in a certain way, it's kind of a grand scale of sales. And I think for me, the biggest value in sales is, or not even sales, but speaking, is trying to help people realize that something that you are building or a product that you have could positively change their life. And I feel like there's a lot of people in sales that twist it the other way to manipulate people, to give them money, basically. And a lot of the sales or value sharing has a really bad rap for that, because people always think, the salespeople are so pushy and they're just trying to get me to take whatever they're giving. But if you can show somebody that whatever product you're offering can change their life and change their life in a positive way, kind of like what Ardo was saying with the user experience of the apps. If we can make the apps, the products, everything have such a great user experience that people don't realize that they're even using crypto, they just enjoy using the app or product, I think we're doing our job in helping show. And one more thing, sorry, I've taken a long time.
You're good.
The other day, Jay Chains was saying, is it our responsibility to make sure that we onboard people into Web3? And personally, I think no, it's not our responsibility, but going along with, things that have changed our life for the positive, we're kind of, this is going to sound cheesy, but we're spreading the gospel of Web3. Like, if it's helping you, like, live a more positive life, you want to share that. And you can't, it's not our responsibility to get people to onboard, but we are taking the opportunity to invite everybody, and whether they choose to come in or not, that's their own choice. And that's all we can do. So it's not our responsibility, but we enjoy extending the invitation because it's positively changed our life.
Hell yeah, man.
So,
hell yeah.
That's all for now.
To your first point, the one thing we like to say is just get in where you fit in, right? It doesn't matter, what you do on your day-to-day function. It is happening here in Web3. So just get in where you fit in. Jeepers creepers, we got some hands to get through. Turbo, I don't even know who's next, to be perfectly honest with you.
I am. You already skipped me twice.
My God.
Beasky, yeah. I was gonna
Beasky.
say, Beasky. Yo, Beasky, let me just say, bro. Let me just say, dog. I swear to God, let me just say this real quick. Because I was like trying to rotate everybody, and I apologize. I hate rotating people because I feel so bad. But when I saw you with your hand up still, I was like, oh my God, we missed Beasky like 10 times. I'm sorry, bro.
Real quick on one thing Turbo said. There's a great quote from a guy named Timothy Leary who says, what you have to look out for is transitional reality, looking in and looking out. Mind your stuff. Don't try to judge yourself based on other people because you don't know what they're actually going through. And don't try to judge them based on you because it works both ways.
Timothy Leary was the acid guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
electrocoolate acid test.
Yeah.
Second thing, real quick, don't get mad at me for saying this, but Zima, dude, I love you. I heard every word you're saying. This may not be the appropriate place for it, but you do have a lot of love and support here. So don't think that we don't hear you.
Absolutely. I listen, and I told Zima, I said in the background, man, you are always welcome here. I just, for the OGs in the community, like I need the OGs in our community to just kind of like make sure that we, corral the community in a certain way, and that we don't, I don't, it's just, that's just the way that it goes. Things can go bad really fast as a show host. And so that's something I just had to nip in the bud. We can have these conversations. I respect and love everyone's opinions. And Bisky, you're absolutely correct. Today just wasn't the right time. But Zima, man, we love you. You are more than welcome at this. Everybody is welcome to Web3 Breakfast. Sometimes we just have to control the narrative of the conversation. That's all.
Yeah, and dude, that's something we're all struggling with right now. I hate getting into the politics here because that's not what I'm here for. But at the same time, this has been a tough one. Yeah. The person who said good value equals state of mind, Matthew. I just want to put out there that that's a really, Matthew, yes, that's an interesting concept, because if good value equals state of mind, then you actually control the value you're receiving. So just think about that for a minute. You can actually put yourself on the good foot if value equals your own state of mind. The last thing, though, I wanted to jump way back in the conversation, because you were talking about music and the value of music in terms of how can they charge this much for a song. And what I've been trying to put into people's ear is it doesn't have to be one or the other. There can be a two-tiered system. There's a thing called the 100 or 1,000 fan theory, which basically says, especially in Web3, if you have 100 solid followers or 1,000 solid fans who can support you, they can do the same thing for you that 1 million fans could do for you on a much smaller level. So I think there should be a two-tiered system where there are expensive NFTs that musicians sell that have greater utility, like Violetta's Moonshots. If you own one of those, you get to go to her concerts for the rest of your life for free. So think about that. That actually is a giant utility. But I think there should be two tiers. There should be the things you collect that you're willing to come out of pocket for because you want that special utility. And then there should also be a release that has no utility that's like 99 cents. Yes. And the question is, how do you go about balancing that? And I get that it's not like a straightforward balance, but I just want to put that idea out there that there is tiers of utility that can be offered that would allow us to, yes, I'll pay $100 for something that someone puts out that I'm really into, that I get a greater utility for. And then I'll also put out 99 cents for the other 9 tracks on that album that I just want to listen to a couple of times.
Listen, once you put it in a frame like that, man, that's where it goes. Like, you have your membership pass, and that, it can be whatever you want it to be. And your utility is concerts for life, drops, exclusive access, stuff like that. 100% agree with it. But if you are just going to keep dropping track after track after track after track for like 10, 15, 20, $25, that's fucking stupid. Like, that's just dumb. But I do love, like, if you have the membership tier where you want to buy the, the whole access package that, again, gets you concerts for the rest of your life. There's a lot of value in that, especially if you love that artist or, you love their music. And so that's where it should go. Go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah, I was just going to say to that too. Listen, if you think your song's worth $1 million, put up for sale for $1 million. You know what I'm saying? If somebody buys it, hey, good on you. You know what I mean? And if they don't, you know what I mean? Like, don't be disappointed. And you know what I mean, for consumers, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's outside of your price range, what you're willing to give, then that's your place. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really what it comes down to. We're gonna slide over here. We're gonna hit Diamond.
Ladies first, for sure.
Tony
Ladies
and
first.
Diamond, but then Tony and AI Love will just have to like fight it out to the death. And that would be one hell of a brawl, I would say. Here's words and love
between the two. So while Diamond's going, whoever lights up the emojis more between AI and Tony gets to go next.
Okay, here we go. Yo, Diamond, what's up, girl?
GM.
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Good. Yep, sound great. Coming through great.
Cool. I'm on the road, so if I cut out, just let me know. But that's a good conversation. One, thank you for welcoming me. There are a few things we're talking about a lot, so I'll just get right in. One, public speaking. If you have kids, put them into debate or forensics, which is like a form of public speaking where they have like storytelling, impromptu. It's something that I did as a kid, and it honestly set me up with the skill set required to, go to job interviews and nail it, on the first go around, get scholarships from colleges and everything. Like, that is one of the best things you can do for your kids. is put them in programs that push them to speak publicly. The other thing is Board 8. What's up, Matthew? I wanted to address what you said about their gameplay. I'm not a part of the Board 8 community, but what I will say is, regardless of what they're doing game-wise, in terms of mainstream adoption and moving the culture forward in Web3, I don't ever think Board 8 will be, I don't think that IP will ever be widely accepted, because I just don't think it resonates with a large swath of people, right? Like, you know, for brown people, black people, right? Like, claiming 8 is something that's going to be challenging, right? Being a part of the 8th game, just on some realistic tips. So I think there's real opportunity for platforms like Sandbox and other Web3 gaming communities to pump out IP that feels a little more inclusive. Like, you know, like Cool Cats, for instance. I really feel like the way that they're developing their characters kind of mirrors like Hello Kitty in terms of like universal acceptance. And I think, I think that type of IP is going to be more poised to cause like mainstream adoption of Web3 gaming applications than anything. And then the last bit, you were talking about, I forget who was about, is it our responsibility to bring people into Web3? And one, I do think so. If we're the community members who are forming it and creating the culture, I think it is our responsibility, because to be honest, there's a lot of even tech people. You know, the panel that Jay was on at the UCLA event, I invited a woman from Xbox to come out and speak. And because of the narrative of crypto and where we are culturally and trying to like change that narrative, like she politely declined, right? And it was unfortunate because there are so many women in tech, so many women in gaming, and so many women in blockchain who I think are cautious about associating themselves with like larger crypto communities or individuals, just because of you know, lawsuit, all the bad shit in the news that is going on. And so they're out here, but I do think that women are just being a little more intentional. And it was really unfortunate though, because she, you know, didn't meet you guys or anything, so she doesn't really understand. It was clear like she doesn't really understand like the ethos. And for Tony and I, like that is our whole goal, is to create these welcoming spaces like what you guys have here on the Twitter space, right? That creates an environment where people want to get involved, right? And that to me is the onboarding work. It's just creating those safe spaces where people can really ask questions and feel like they're understood and their concerns are addressed, you know, adequately about this space. So those are just my few kind of like tidbits I wanted to hit on. But us women in Web3, we are out here. I think we just tend to move in the background a little bit more and connect the dots to really take this instant ecosystem to a place of like maturity and stability.
Nice. Shout out to you.
Hell yeah.
It was great.
All the ladies.
It was great.
Shout out to all the ladies.
Yeah, it was great meeting you out in LA, Diamond. I appreciate you being here, and thank you for, you know, providing the value and input here into today's conversation. You know that you and Tony are welcome here any freaking time.
Young and smart too. Sheesh.
All right. So who lit him up more between AI and Tony?
Tony.
All right,
Tony definitely took it for his girl.
Hey, what's up, family? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Man, good, bro.
Can you hear me?
Little choppy, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, happy to be here and happy to support my friends and whatever you guys got going on. I love being up here. And then I just want to talk about, you know, opportunities too. I think we were hearing like how we do mass adoption is don't wait for anyone to give you opportunities, create the opportunities yourself. There's plenty of ways you can go about it. You know, one thing that me and Diamond did was start a 15-city college tour. Why? Because it was needed. Why? Because we're not focused on Gen Z and Generation Alpha. I felt like we keep using the same liquidity over and over and the same things, you know, the same kind of parties, you know. You know, the parties are, hey, listen, open bar, free food, you know, it's either pizza or whatever the case may be. And it's like, we got to stop. I think what it was, everything was in beta, you know, when we were doing IRLs. And And I think we got away from actually trying to build, and we were getting away with actually putting too much utility into what people hold. And and what people bags were, is instead of putting the utility into mass adoption. I think it's everyone's job to make sure they make this space more than what it needs to be, because at the end of the day is we have to have more people in the space to have it sustainable. The model right now in the space is not sustainable, having the way we're using it, and spending stupid ass money on parties that doesn't make any sense. You want to get the youth, because youth is coaching. They know how to use the technology. They're going to be using the technology when we're dead and gone. When we be when 2080 come here, I want to see what the technology looks like. But we'd be dead and gone. They're going to be using this technology, and empower them to go ahead and say, hey, look, what do y'all want to do? How can we better, equip y'all with emerging tech? We allowing ourselves, we spent two years on the road, 275 days, building up a network, building up an ecosystem, building up, just a group of people who think the like-minded of wanting to teach technology to the youth. And basically we decided to say, hey, listen, let's go on this college tour. We did activation at USC. That got a bunch of people attention on what we can do. We were the first one to ever implement Sandbox on USD computers. We're going to be putting Web3 gaming on a lot of the computers that we got coming up soon. And we just can't wait, to show these colleges and show these student organizations exactly what this emerging tech can do, and what we're prepared to, take Web3 to. And I think that should have been important of infrastructure, how you lay that infrastructure, what the infrastructure looks like. And, we did it on our own, because we decided to say, hey, listen, we're not going to wait for the VCs or these companies to say, wow, this matters. You have to do it yourself. Don't wait for them to come to you. Do it yourself. Get around like-minded people. There's great people in this community that actually want to try to grow and want to try to build on those levels. So, once again, Jay Change and Turbo, I look forward to working with y'all and helping advance that mission.
Hell yeah, man. No, I listen, you are out there literally not just talking the talk, but you are walking the walk, man. You're putting in that time, making those, and we talk about them, the four currencies, the time, the knowledge, the relationships, and then, ultimately the money. And I'm telling you what, man, the relationship aspect, there's several people in this community that it is a gift of theirs. And I can guarantee you that is a gift that you got as well, man. Looking forward to seeing what we can accomplish together as, we talk about the rising tide floating all boats, right? The collaboration, all these things that we can do. I'm super, super excited about that. It was great to connect with you guys out at UCLA and LA. And man, let's just keep pushing it forward. 100%. All right, so let's go. We're gonna go AI Miyagi Corey. AI Miyagi.
I just want to say, man, happy Friday the 13th. Stay out of the pathway of black cats and ladders. And I've also created a heck of a slicer here this morning. That's why I was late. I was a little bored. I said, what can I do to bring joy to people's lives? So I made y'all this honorary video for my favorite R&B singer. That's right, Britney Spears. I'm a Britney Spears fan, for those who didn't know. I had her posters up on my wall when I was young.
Me too.
Oh, God.
Me too.
AI, let me ask you a question. The video that you put out this morning that had a lot of the effects and stuff on it, was that a CapCut, or what did you use to make that?
Yeah, CapCut, man. CapCut killing it.
Woohoo! I tell you what, man, we all got to be pros at that stuff soon.
Creators, no, bro. They got a lot of templates. They got a lot of AI features now with the AI auto cut and the editing. So it allows for you to push out different forms of content really fast and keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So that you don't really because certain content it doesn't need the chopping like crazy, and then other content you really want that in-depth editing, and then being in the creators market, man, they really are empowering creators. They got the AI auto caption. I paid for the package, but that's under the business, so it ain't nothing but a business expense.
I'm running the free one right now, but I was talking to Turbo yesterday. That is an upgrade that I'm going to make ASAP.
Yeah. I'm telling you, just put it under the business, and you already know.
Yep. For sure.
Man, that sounds like he hit a lick, Jay. It sounds like he hit a lick on that.
Ooh.
Yo, get ready for that.
Get ready. Yeah, we're gonna come up
we
with a
might
new
talk
show
about a little
called
bit at the end.
All right, let's.
Hey, we're not done, are we?
No. We got
no.
We got Miyagi's hand, and then we're gonna cut it. We're gonna skip you.
And then
There was Ardo.
Hey, I
What's
just
going
want to
on,
say,
Turbo into insurance?
Turbo rude. You kicked me down while I had my hand up earlier.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't
In my
see it.
call,
Oh, no.
I've been rugged for like 10 minutes.
Oh, no.
And I also wanted to give Maxine a formal apology for calling her out a few weeks ago about her horrible food takes.
You don't have to
I'm not saying
apologize.
that.
You don't have to apologize for that.
Well, it's obviously been weighing on her for like 3 weeks or so. So I wanted to apologize.
Well, hey, you know what? It takes.
Yeah,
You're
that's
a big man.
of
Appreciate
you.
that. Yeah, solid. That's a solid
Mhm.
move, Corey. And that's why. We mess with you, dog. That's why you're in this, because you're a solid dude. Appreciate you, Miyagi.
Awkward silence.
Miyagi.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Top of the morning.
Yo,
what's up,
GM.
Jay Chains, Turbo, yeah, GM, Rich Rising, all that good stuff. I popped in here because I saw the fam, Tony and Diamond in here, and then I stayed because I heard the dope conversation. But I kind of wanted to add some different perspectives to just let people think about some things before they leave this room. Specifically, I want to say it was Zach. Zach said something that kind of stood out to me, not in a negative way or in a bad way or anything. It just made me think about my experience. I've been in the space since about 2020. I've done it all, alpha call, like everything, right? It was along the lines of when we were talking about more women needing to be in this space. And I think he said something about just bring your skills and just come as who you are. Unfortunately, that is not the case in this space. And I think saying that is a little demeaning sometimes. And again, I'm just sharing my perspective.
Absolutely. Love to hear it.
Just because you come and you're present and you may have the skill set, that doesn't mean that you align with the others in the space, right? That doesn't mean that your beliefs may be the same. Your just core foundation of who you are, they may not all align. So I think even more so than just bringing your skill set, it goes along the lines of what Tony and Diamond are speaking of, is you have to create an impact. Like you have to make yourself undeniable, regardless of if you're doing it with a team or by yourself. I've had the luxury of being able to speak at some conferences and all that, do some dope stuff on my own, just being me in this space. I don't have a team. I don't got a whole bunch of people around me, but I kind of just put myself out there. But it came with risk. It came with hearing a lot of no's. It came with a lot of people turning me down because I just wasn't their quote unquote friend, right? I didn't wear their PFP long enough. I switched to PFP. And so like, there's a lot of things that go into this space that I heard be said, but then there's like underlying aspects that kind of change all of that. And now where we are in this space, being past the bull run, it's not the same. You can't just come and bring your skills. I'm so thankful that the young lady that you guys talked about was able to be in this space for a year. But do you guys know how many others have not been able to be in this space full time?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's an anomaly, right? And so I don't want us to say it like it's easy. It's not easy. Let's really give her flowers for being able to do that, but then also dissect how she was able to do it. And is that even going to work for somebody else? I think for me, the biggest thing I've noticed in this space is I cannot tell somebody what to do. Mm-hmm. What worked for me will not work for you. And what worked for somebody else isn't going to work for me. One thing that kind of stuck with me is just kind of do whatever makes sense for you. Like everybody has been saying, don't look left, don't look right, don't worry about what everybody else got going on. That is the biggest thing in this space. It's so easy to be distracted by what everybody else is doing, and you don't know the sacrifices they've gone through. You don't know how long they stay up at night. You don't know how long their spouse yells at them for being on a phone for 3-4, right? Like there's a lot of things that go into this. And so I just want to put that out there, that while it sounds easy, it's not. It's more so simple than it is easy. And things that are simple are not easy. But what is easy could be simple. And so I just wanted to leave that with you all.
I love that, man. I love that. And a couple things. I appreciate you being here. You said something about, not really having a crew or people. I can unequivocally tell you now, welcome to Web3 Breakfast, man. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the community. That goes for everybody here. You know what I'm saying? Like you're home. We do this show every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, man. Or actually, we're going to switch it over. The format's going to change next week. But y'all, this is it, man. We're like, this is where we're family. And even if you have a different opinion, like, you came with a different approach, and it's cool. And we love that. We love different ideas, different opinions, different strategies. And so shout out to you, man. Keep pushing. No, it's not easy, man. And it's not even simple. I've been grinding this fucking ecosystem since 2017. I haven't made it yet. You go up and you go down, you ride the wave, right? And so but all you can do is be consistent and show the fuck up. And be there for people and be dependable. And that's all you can do, right? And so it's not about being easy. Certainly has not been an easy road. And it's not about simple either. Like, people are like, oh, creating content is easy. I can tell you it's not. Like, there's a lot more that goes into it than you would think. And so I feel you. My whole thing is, it's not just show up, it's get in where you fit in, right? Like, if there are personality conflicts and all that stuff, I mean, these are kind of things that we can all work through as our ecosystem matures. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's a very, very young community, very young ecosystem. We have a lot of people that definitely over leverage themselves and put too much in, and when things get tight, tempers flare and all that kind of stuff. And we know that we are at the depths of the build market here. We don't like to call it a bear market. We call it a build market, because that's what we're doing right now, is we're building our knowledge and we're building our relationships so that money comes in the next cycle. So shout out to you, man. I appreciate you being here. I do want to bring Ardo up, because he was trying to say something before, and that's one thing that we'll never do is leave a hand hanging at the end of a show. So Ardo, GM.
Yeah, sorry, I got rugged. I couldn't hear certain people. Man, no, this is a great show that I was able to catch the end of. I want to thank Tony and Diamond again for coming out to participate with us at our networking event and at the Global Forum. It really took being there and seeing it to truly understand what events like that mean for our community, but also for each individual person and project. Also being able to have an intimate setting to further discuss ideas, networking, relationships, possibilities. It was truly amazing. I know we have a lot of footage and things like that coming, a lot of pictures and things coming. The best thing I can tell people, there's so much talent in this space, but hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
Ooh. And
that is something everyone in this space should adhere to. Everyone's talented, but the hard work's going to beat it if you're not using it.
Yo, for sure. And you know what? And I do have one last small thing, and I want to pass it to Jay to send us on out of here for our weekend of the Friday the 13th. Is if you're listening, if you're watching this, if you're down there and you're a participant, you're thinking like, I don't want to be a leader. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a leader in this space. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a person that participates and a person that, you know what I mean? So you want to be a supporter, that's great too. We need you too. You know what I'm saying? And if you see supporters around you that are truly supporting you, champion them, because that's what they love to do. And you might not understand it. You know what I'm saying? So champion them, because you're just as freaking important too. And don't forget that.
And
Jay,
real quick
take
on
us
that,
out of here.
I'm so sorry, but we need more Dennis Robbins. We need more Scottie Pippens. We need more people to grab the rebounds and throw the assists. Like, all of that stuff makes a team work. You can't win a championship without passing the ball. So you don't always have to score to get a ring, guys. The water boy gets a ring at the end of the day too.
The world needs garbage men, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all got to play a role. Not everybody gets to have the sexiest, but we all get to do something, hopefully, that we enjoy, that we're passionate about. And I hope that you guys are passionate about Web3. Appreciate you being here. This has been a fantastic week. Web3 Breakfast. Again, next week, we've got a full change to the program. We're going to be starting at 8 a.m. You're going to get to watch basically how we start to read articles and how we're going to plan the whole day and put content together. So that starts at 8 a.m. and then the actual Web3 Breakfast is going to start at 9 a.m. moving forward. So we're going to go from 9 to 10, maybe a little bit longer. We're going to have some fun. But guys, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being here with us this week. Shout out to you. If you came up and chatted on stage, thank you so much. If you just sat it and listened, Thank you so much. We love you all equally. Today was a good show. The beginning of the show was a little hectic, but we navigated through it, and that's why we're such a strong community, because even with the challenges and difference of opinions, we're all going to get through it at the end of the day. Have a great weekend. We love you guys, and we'll see you on Monday. No crypto crossfire tonight, by the way. It's Friday, baby.
Darn it.
Love it.